Hello, my name is METİN Arıdaşır. This is 177th part of explanation of my theory. According to my theory and my formulas, free electron motion forms are responsible for the resistance in a conductor. 1. If there were no free electron motion forms and their successive waves effects in a conductor, there wouldn't be the resistance, there wouldn't be gravitational effects and interactions with conductor, there wouldn't be blackbody radiation and continuous spectrum of the conductor. By the way, all blackbody radiations of all bodies sources are free electron motion forms in their volumes. Again, by the way, all blackbody radiations of all bodies sources are free electron motion forms in their volumes. Go on. There wouldn't be temperature and heat, there wouldn't be successive waves type light, and there wouldn't be speed of light direction component energy effects of a free electron motion form to measure as the voltage and their other mechanical results. Again, 1. If there were no free electron motion forms and their successive waves effects in a conductor, there wouldn't be the resistance, there wouldn't be gravitational effects and interactions with conductor, there wouldn't be blackbody radiation and continuous spectrum of the conductor, there wouldn't be temperature and heat, there wouldn't be successive waves type light, and there wouldn't be measuring possibility of voltage, in short. 2. The resistance represents the rate between the number of free electron motion forms and the number of proton-bound electron motion forms, which make joint cyclical motion at first and equal one cycle together to make the electric currents with their directional axis motion in a conductor. The resistance represents the rate between the number of free electron motion forms and the number of proton-bound electron motion forms. Proton-bound electron motion forms together make joint motion in a conductor like this, okay, here, free electron motion forms, okay, in a conductor, source of resistance, but proton-bound electron motion forms here, then they can make joint motion together. Okay, and then this is conductor, here joint motion. Okay, this is conductor. Here free electron motion forms, here free electron motion forms. Okay. The rate of free electron motion forms, number of free electron motion forms and number of connected proton-bound electron motion forms. Okay. This is the rate. Between number of free electron motion forms and connected proton-bound electron motion forms in a conductor is equal to resistance. This rate represents resistance, okay? Yes. Three. In accepted physics theories, an electric current is a stream of charged particles, electrons, ions, moving through an electrical conductor or space. This sentence's source is Wikipedia. Subject is electric current. Whereas, according to me, on one hand, the resistance in a conductor represents free electron motion forms and their energies. On the other hand, electric current doesn't represent particles and their streams. On the contrary, electric current is directional joint axis motion of directionally unified proton-bound electron motion forms as the first and equal to 1 cyclical motions at 1,884,000 km per second velocity. This means electric current velocity in a conductor is 1,884,000 km per second, not electrons motion, not electrons velocity. Electron motion forms. This is motion at all. Remember from my first video. And this is first cycle, then second cycle for free electron motion form or proton-bound electron motion form. Okay, first cycle. Here proton, joint motion with proton. Here electron. This is motion arrow. This is first cycle and is equal to 1. When an electron bound with make joint motion with proton, this is from now on proton bound electron at its first cycle. It cannot produce and propagate successive wave as free electron motion form. And much more proton-bound electron motion forms at their first cycle. Okay, like this, then here current. Okay, here free electron motion forms. Remember, first cycle was okay. Which linear velocity is 1,884,000 km per second. Remember this. Okay, this is first motion, and this cycle linear velocity is 1,884,000 km per second. Then, if these at first cycle n equal 1, first cycle proton-bound electron motion forms, not free electron motion forms, in a conductor, here joint motion, then this is current at 1,884,000 km per second. I hope you see, yes. Now, 4. The resistance in a conductor. Perhaps we have a kind of resistance in our living bodies also. If it's so, I guess it is so. The resistance of our bodies, in fact, the resistance in all resistances, in all bodies, are the criterion of the amount of free electron motion forms in this conductor and in the others. Okay, the resistance in a conductor is the criterion of the amount of free electron motion forms in this conductor? Yes, at the rate of free electron motion forms in a conductor or in any body, the resistance, now I don't mean our biological resistance, the resistance increases and vice versa. At the rate of free electron motion forms in a conductor or in any body, the resistance increases and vice versa. At the rate of free electron motion forms. 5. Eventually, what are some results of my theory and my formulas? What are? Yes. If there are no free electron motion forms in a conductor or in a body, if there are no free electron motion forms in a conductor or in a body, there will be no resistance. Okay? There will be no voltage that we can measure. There will be no temperature and heat. There will be no gravitation for this conductor. Yes. Did all of these things remind you of anything? Yes. By the way, this is my explanation of superconductivity. But there will be current from eternal intrinsic motion arrow at 1,884,000 km per second in meta-sensation perception matter that includes this conductor volume. Electric current without charge friction, electric current without resistance, electric current without voltage, electric current without electron volt energy friction. Don't forget, there are much more power in our universes than we can measure with conventional measurement tools that have been using until now. Have a good evening. See you later.